So Cascadia Health Hospital is installing a new X-ray tube. Good job, GE. Before we start the X-ray running, we have to know how much dose the tube is expected to provide to patients and to workers.
That means acceptance testing. We need to perform QC tests to measure it.
Boy, with all this QC, we might need a dose Equis to get through it all.
Like we know, we have to measure dose because ionizing radiation can cause damage to cells. These effects can be deterministic, like burns, or stochastic effects, like cancer.
That's why Safety Code 35 provides absolute limits for how much radiation can be absorbed by workers and by the public, which also includes students too.
That's why this test is needed. It helps us ensure we're protecting staff and providing ELERA for our patients.
Alright everyone, activity time. According to Safety Code 35, how much radiation are students allowed to receive to the lens of the eye?
That's right, we can receive 15 millisieverts. How about for the hand?
The hand can get 50 millisieverts. It's the same for our other organs too, like say our kidneys.
Meanwhile, our whole body dose can't exceed 1 millisievert.
Numerous surveys have demonstrated that radiation dose can vary by as much as 50 or even 100 times as much between equipment and facilities. Now, radiation doesn't provide us with superpowers.
As far as we know.
So, we have to know if the X-ray tube might be providing too much radiation before anyone reaches their dose limits. To do that, we create diagnostic reference levels.
Don't worry, this idea isn't hard to absorb. Diagnostic reference levels, or DRLs, are measures of absorbed dose for an average patient. Instead of an absolute limit, it's the number that indicates that equipment should be tested for problems if that dose was provided to a patient.
So if the DRL for a chest X-ray is 0.2 millisieverts, we should inspect our equipment if a patient received that dose or higher.
DRLs vary by body part as well as by facility.
DRLs are used for both X-ray
as well as CT. Because CT tends to have higher overall dose, it has more standardization of its DRLs. X-ray tends to vary more facility by facility.
So who determines what the DRLs are here at Cascadia Health? Is it the technologist? Is it the supervisor?
It's the medical physicist!
Way above our pay grade.
So before this new X-ray tube is installed, the medical physicist will perform QC tests to determine appropriate DRLs.
For these QC tests, the physicist will record dose measurements using either phantoms or using patients.
Phantoms are usually preferred because there's more standardization and control. Also, since they don't need to worry about ELERA, they can repeat the tests over and over.
Which means there's more zap dose than a legendary Pokemon.
If using patients, we need to measure at least 10 patients, who are all around 70 kilograms in weight. That means no kids.
Dose measurements using patients can be taken in 3 different ways. First, we can place a thermoluminescent dosimeter, or TLD, over by the patient's side.
Second, we can use a dose area product, or DAP, meter.
Or third, we can retrieve relevant patient information from RIS. However, since the RIS doesn't always keep a record of patient weights, it's less precise and requires more data to be effective.
Quiz question. After acceptance testing, How often do we have to repeat this QC test according to SC35?
Annually!
That's right. So like you can see, this QC test is as easy as
Uno, dos, tres.